Good evening, everyone. I am here to present this project, harnessing wild edible fruit diversity of Western Ghats of India for nutritional security, sustainable livelihoods, and conservation. We all know that Western Ghats are rich source of biodiversity, and we have a lot of fauna and more than 4,200 flowering plants are there. But when it comes to edible fruits, more than 344 edible fruits are reported in Western Ghats. But in that, many are already 59 species are in threatened stage, and 8 species are in endangered stage. But majority, if you see, if we ask below 40 years age group people, they will not identify whether it is eatable fruit or not. Also, we don't know. Awareness is itself a lacking. Only if you see is after 60-year aged people only they can tell some common names of that fruits. That much a lot of scope is there to create awareness itself a big challenge. That is one of the important thing we required here. The in majority, if you see research articles and everything, just we can see some are documented. They not went behind that. Many times we are telling about the wild edible fruits are rich source of nutraceuticals. Just we are telling there is no scientific evidences are not available. Just we are talking it's a powerhouse of nutrients, but that we need to create it. That is one. Then systematic characterization and multiplication, these things are not happening. Based on these aspects, keeping in this mind, and from last 2 days we are coming to know what exactly CFA they're asking. But before that, we prepared project. Because of that, some points are we can okay. Actually, I kept survey, collection, and conservation documentation of wild edible fruit species. Then morphological and biochemical mineral characterization I kept. Then establishment of field gene banks, including farmers in farmer fields as well as in government institutes, SAUs, ICR as well as KVKs. There we are planning to, because many species are becoming endangered and threatened. Because of that, we need to conserve it. Otherwise, in future we don't know whether these species are available. That is one this thing. And creating awareness, as I told sir, below 40 years they don't know whether I only before entering to Kurg sir, I don't know many species, because from Madikeri to Chetali 20 kilometers is there. In that route we have 20 to 25 species, but I don't know a single species. When after entering, when started working on wild fruits only, I came to know 25 species are there available in this span of 20 kilometers. That awareness is very much required sir. For that we have trainings. We need to conduct diversity shows, especially school children sir. I asked some kids, they don't know. Once I told that can be eatable, immediately they cleared within 2 days that fruits everything. That's why that school kids, when they are enjoying really wild edible fruits, because the lifespan of wild edible fruits are very short. Within 4 to 5 days it will complete, and we cannot carry directly pluck there you eat. We cannot carry to markets also. Like that, more edible fruits are there, sir. This is one I thought of survey work, sir. Maybe I can skip this one. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Western Ghats part. We thought, yes, sir. Then characterization part one. Then ITKs, lot of ITKs. This is one fruit species, sir. Palepannu, locally it is called as. Every year, generally, we humans will take stomach deworming tablets. But if you eat this fruit now, there is no need of taking tablet. Like that, some ITKs are some scientific evidences are there. Because of that, we can collect, because these ITKs are available in the age-old people, more than 60 years, 70 years, that we can collect. Then establishment of field gene banks, sir. Yes. Then, okay.
Target crop should be very clear. You were told us we are
Yes, sir. Yes.
but what are the best 5 or 6 you want to have in that?
Okay.
Some scale is there.
Yes.
Some visible changes are also.
Okay. Then we are planning for 2 tribal nurseries, sir, to encourage the persons, tribals. 2 nurseries will train them, and they will multiply this wild edible fruits. Then from there we will distribute to the other people, sir. Then we are targeting to distribute. It cannot cultivate as a commercial scale, sir. Near bunds and paddy fields are there, sir. Now paddy people are stopped cultivating paddy because of labor constraints. That paddy fields and bunds can be utilized for growing this wild edible fruits, sir. It separate land it cannot be given. Then 20 schools also we are targeting. There also we can educate the students, school childrens, and we can demonstrate there, sir. 20 in schools. And more than, we are planning to multiply and distribute 6,000 planting material of this wild fruits, sir. TVC is possible, sir. Already it's existing in locally, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not from zero, we are telling don't start from zero, like no plant available.
No, sir. Plants locally available, sir. We'll collect directly seeds and we'll multiply and we'll distribute immediately, sir. Within 1 year, it's possible. नहीं सर, हमारा पास भी कंजर्वेशन है सर, मैं दिखाता हूँ सर. वो 6,000 10,000 करेंगे सर. Yes, yes sir, yes sir. Okay, okay. This is the main, this one sir, this I'll skip again. Yes sir. Sir, environmental impact same, actually their landslides are heavy sir. Because of this, if you have wild fruits sir, that landslides can be reduced. Because actually here one I thought of survey work is there, sir, that manpower is there intensively we can study. Yes sir. Sir, risk awareness and acceptance of wild edible fruits. Majority are thorny in nature and highly this one sir. Just at least commercial, not commercial scale, at least we can, for nutrition point of view we can. Yes sir. Okay sir.
Any partnership or something?
KVKs and SAFs. Yes sir. Yes sir.
Because everywhere you need not to go. GVK fellows can go.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Joint hands. Even CSR funds where you can mobilize.
Yes sir.
These are the ways to promote education.
Yes sir, we will modify. Let food be the medicine and medicine be the food. By saying this, I'll. Yes sir.
I think you are the richest person in collection of all these things.
Yes sir.
And
Yes.
additionally, what we can have already it is existing at many places on farm conservation plus you can improve both the things.
Yes.
But it is conserved, which will be a higher scale project at that area. That you are having on farm conservation, utilizing the fruit
Yes.
and utilizing all wide types of and from your institute, you can introduce many of them in their on farm.
Yeah, not to contradict my co-chairs, but I really like the concept, and I think the more species of wild edibles we can explore, the better, especially because of the multiple benefits many of them will have. So even if we do need to narrow it down initially,
Yes,
I think it's great to be able to look at that portfolio of species that have different delivery of different nutrients, different ecosystem services, and will contribute to a biodiverse, rich
yes,
food system. So I really like the concept. So I think it's a great presentation. I guess what I would like to know is if we can map existing nutritional data that already is there upon those species that you've got, rather than having to completely reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, this is a project which really covers the wild edible tree species.
yes, yes.
It really covers it, and these are the untouched species you would be working on.
Yes.
So we know that quantum of work, you don't have too much of background information available, but it can be slightly modified with the objectives of CFI,
Yes.
and accordingly it can be done.
Sir, if
While working with underutilized crops in general, I've been working for the last 40 years almost.
yes, sir.
What I would suggest is that they will remain underutilized, but try to find one or two most important which can be mainstreamed in the down the line 5, 6 years, 10 years. Mainstream.
Yes.
That is very important with underutilized. Otherwise, they will remain underutilized. And if we focus on 15 crops, none of them will be mainstreams. So one idea is that most important crop of that region, which has the highly acceptability, try to focus on 1, 2, maybe 2 and 3 maximum, and then try to mainstream those.
Yes.
That is just my suggestion.
Since you're working in coffee growing areas, I think there's potential to really bring in a lot of these species into coffee farms as well, because there's a lot of demand for native species right now. So I think that's one target area that you can consider.
Actually, madam, in our station we are working mainly two aspects. One wild edible fruits, one is exotic fruits, high value fruit crops. We have society also, and many ways we are promoting high value, especially mangosteen, rambutan, lychees, off season lychees, everything we are working, durian, and all we are working, because I am fascinated, because when you are wild edible fruits, just
Maybe one last point. I mean, we've been working with Atri on the Diversity for Restoration tool, which includes, I think, many of these wild edible species. So what would be really nice to be link with, for example, which ones have very high importance for bird diversity or enhancing other species habitat or pollinator provision, that kind of thing, and that would add another layer of richness to the concept as well. Yeah.
okay, sir.
Yes.
So basically, what Dr. Singh has mentioned here, that this is very good project here, and the nutritional component should be done across all the different diversity species here.
Yes, sir.
But then from that, focus on a few species for
Okay, sir.
from scale here.
Okay, sir.
And then what I'm thinking that in our last project with JF funding here, we have done a lot of diversity collection of the Ghats species and also mango species here. And maybe you are having those collection in your gene bank here. So can you think about utilizing those collection which have already been collected long back and
Yes, sir.
can
Yes.
be promoted?
Yeah.
That's
That's
so, so that you can include for promotion for the
GIs also.
yes.
We are not doing, we are silent on GIs, farmer varieties, they are silent. Neither state government does, neither you do.
Poor mandate, sir. Garcia.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.